Alright, so it's no secret that GTA 5 is one of the most popular games ever made. Source? Trust me, bro. GTA 6 previews just came out around July, and everybody is hyped for the fact that this game will actually release. And so, in hype of the fact that GTA 6 will actually release in my lifetime, I thought it would be a fun idea to do a retrospective on GTA 5 and the whole GTA series as a whole. Starting out with the general timeline for the GTA games. Now, allegedly, GTA 6 is supposed to be the last Grand Theft Auto game in the series. Probably a good thing, considering the long-ass release times between each new game. Which is kind of funny, looking back in the original 3D games in the series. That, of course, starting out with GTA 3. GTA 3 being a certified hood classic. My experience with the game was on Definitive Edition, and for anyone who hasn't played Grand Theft Auto Definitive Editions, you shouldn't. Alright, I jest. I did enjoy the better graphical, the better look on Definitive Edition. It did certainly look better than the original games. Tommy Vercetti and Claude Speed definitely had much better looks in Definitive. Wow, the San Andreas characters look weird for some fucking reason. I don't know what the hell was wrong with their designs. I just played through GTA 3's whole campaign in about a week. To be straight up, this game doesn't really age the best, especially compared to the other games in the series. While certainly being groundbreaking for the time, it doesn't really hold up to our more modern, sensible standards. With 1 year later, releasing GTA Vice City, being the city that GTA 6 will take place in. I started playing Vice City specifically because of the fact that that's the city that 6 will take place in. Vice City does have a lot of charm, is very fun. However, that one specific part that I want to touch on being the real estate missions, where you have to actually buy stuff around the map. Most other games in the franchise don't require you to have a fucking list of where to go. Now this is something that Vice City and GTA 3 struggle with, where I guess they expected their player base to not be fucking idiots, and so therefore it made certain elements in the game really fucking difficult if you hadn't already played it before. Like, it is set up that you can buy real estate, but if you never figure that out, it kind of just starts abruptly for the campaign, where if you didn't know what was happening, the game could have just ended there. Similarly with some missions in GTA 3, where if you don't know you have to get a fucking bazooka to shoot down the helicopter, you're gonna keep doing the final mission over and over again, like I did, for 69 attempts. Although games like GTA 3 do have certain charm because of how difficult they are to complete. The main timeline, the main era that everyone knows GTA and the Rockstar 4 is the 3D games, being GTA 3, San Andreas, and Vice City. Of course, you do have Vice City stories and Liberty City stories, however, they're the less important titles. Most people really just know the originals. Although, I'm just saying, if there's San Andreas stories, would have been the best thing ever. Alright, would have been I'm just, Rockstar, what the fuck? But enough of that. Now, you might be wondering, hey, you said GTA 3, what about that implies that there's a 1 and 2? GTA 1 and 2 and London have kind of been ignored by Rockstar, only really sharing city names, and for some fucking reason, a character. Claude Speed being the same name, at least, from GTA 3 to 2. And it's also come the fuck on. In the promotion movie for GTA 2, it's literally just Claude from GTA 3. Like, it's uncanny. Come on, same fit and everything. The GTA franchise really is set in like 3 main trilogies, being, of course, GTA 1, 2, and London, and then 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and with the newest trilogy being GTA 4, 5, and 6. Originally for this retrospective, I was going to play all the games for GTA, however, I do not own a PC, and therefore I cannot play GTA 4, because for some fucking reason, I guess Rockstar just felt like being a dickhead to the person who voice acts for Nico Bellic, and therefore, I can no longer play this game. Which, that sucks. I feel like Rockstar as a company is kind of shitty, at least for the consumer end. With the Rockstar name, you will guarantee that you will have a phenomenal fucking product, a phenomenal game, definitely. However, Rockstar has been known to drop the ball when it comes to ports or just disrespecting their consumers and treating them like goddamn idiots. 2 examples being GTA Online and the definitive ports for the original trilogy. Definitive Edition is a fucking joke, especially if you have Definitive on a console. Like, from my experience, Switch, it is genuinely identical to the original game. And for a product that was made 20 years later, that's really fucking bad. Grove Street Games, the publishers for the original remaster of San Andreas and the Definitive trilogy, really dropped the ball. Although they are not an in-house studio by Rockstar, and so I feel like the blame should be put on Rockstar. Rockstar should 100% be blamed for having a kind of shitty, for allowing this company to make a shitty product that they hired. Also, GTA Online, I, for one, haven't really played it all that much. However, I have heard that it is kind of, with the servers, but that's mainly a PC issue, not really an issue that console players face. Although griefing is known by anyone who goes online. Also, with recently what happened with Cayo Perico, and I guess all the other missions from online, where they fucking nerfed how much money you receive, making it really fucking difficult to be able to buy a mansion for the newer missions. And also the developmental cycle for GTA 6 is massively annoying. As of right now, we have around 3 trailers for the game in total, maybe less, because I don't remember how much trailers there are. None of them having actual gameplay, and Rockstar expects us to pay $80 for a base game, while charging an additional $20 for the Superior Edition or whatever the fuck it's called. And obviously Rockstar knows what kind of company they are, and the fact that they can, in fact, get away with doing shit like that. But hey, that's neither here nor there. No matter how much I'm gonna clown on Rockstar, they have been known to release consistently great products that have only gone up in scale through each new game that they produce. Maybe the owners of Rockstar, the company, the people who are above the studio itself, maybe they are at fault for certain lackluster business editions that Rockstar's been doing. Who knows? But something I want to talk about is story mode for all the GTA games, but specifically GTA 5. I know a lot of gamers, specifically me, who play games mainly for the story. And I heard this quote, I'm pretty sure it's from Dark Viper AU, stating that GTA games typically had pretty good stories with great characters. And I feel like that defines their stories pretty well. I do feel like there are some things that Rockstar did drop the ball with when it comes to GTA 5, mainly being some of the cutscenes that are only there for when you switch characters. Me personally, I spent the majority of the game fucking around with Trevor, just doing random shit, and Michael, and so I didn't really get to see a lot of switches with Franklin, and that really sucks when most of his arc is with the cutscenes that, so if you miss, you just won't see. Genuinely, one of Franklin's main character motivations being fucking Tanisha, you have no idea of until she shows up in a random fucking cutscene in Lamar Down. Franklin's character arc is something I want to talk about specifically because I feel like he gets disrespected a lot in the GTA community. Oftentimes it's said that, if you remove Franklin from the story, nothing would change. Franklin officially being the main character of GTA 5, and I feel like Franklin deserves to be the main character. A lot of people say it should have been Michael. I feel like it works because it's Franklin. Franklin's story works on an inversion of a lot of the other stories for the protagonists in the games. A character like CJ's story, who also lives in Los Santos, his story arc was about growing up in the projects, growing up in the hood, and rising above that, making money, and becoming one of the richest people in all of Los Angeles, and depending on how you play the game, owning all the gang territory. The majority of all of GTA series is about characters starting out from common dumb muscle and then growing out to become rich, successful sons of bitches that you don't want to fuck with. Common start out to a mission being, specifically in GTA 3, somebody tells you to do something and then you do it. Simple, understandable missions, and a kinda iffy story. Franklin works to invert that, wanting to more or less leave the crime scene. Even saying a line that kind of pokes fun to the previous protagonists and their plots, stating that he feels people tell him to do things, he does it, and then nothing really changes. Franklin's stories work because he becomes rich in the middle of the game. He robs a jewelry store, then does a mission for Lester, assassinates somebody, and then gains a mansion up in the Vinewood Hills. It's meant to be abrupt. A lot of GTA 5 story is about questioning what happens after you rob the bank, after you won it all, wondering what you do in those more quieter moments, once you've finally left life. A lot of Franklin's story in the early game is defined by the song that they used to introduce him in his own trailer, way back in, 2013, 2012? You ain't gotta like it, but the hood gon' love it. Franklin doing things, not really because he himself likes it, but because that's what you do in the hood. It is commonly said that Franklin's story was kind of mishandled by Rockstar, and to a certain point I do agree. Rockstar really did fumble with certain parts of his story by not giving him a lot of stuff to do in-game. Franklin really needed a lot more missions, or something, to fill out his character. Now for some other part of that also comes because of the fact that Rockstar for some reason chose to have a lot of his story off screen, mainly what I mentioned earlier with the scenes where he's talking to Tanisha. After one of the first missions with Michael and Franklin, when they first meet, if you decide to switch back to Franklin, you get to see Tanisha breaking up with Franklin. Tanisha spiritually really being the most important part of Franklin's character motivation. She's the reason that he decides to rob and steal and keep doing the life he does in hopes that someday he will one day rise above and be able to change for her. You can also see that with the call that he makes to her after the jewelry robbery, calling up Tanisha in the strip club like a true gentleman. And the endings really do decide who Franklin's character really is. If Franklin wants to live on the more classy life, rich fake Hollywood house, living up in the Vinewood Hills, keep doing what he's been doing, trying also so much to build, only to be stuck with a big empty house and no one gives a shit about him, killing one of the few people who really did. Or if he wants to turn back on the life of crime that he's living. Option B being taking revenge against the man who brought Franklin where he is. Or in the canonical and best ending, option C, saying fuck you to everyone and rebelling against the niggas in power. Killing the director of the FBI, killing the representation of Franklin's old life, being Stretch, killing the bullshit triads who could not hold a candle to Woozy, by the way, and killing Jeffrey Epstein himself. There really is something about GTA 5 that makes it so replayable even now, 13 years after release. I mean, there has to be, for people like Dark Viper AU still be playing it over and over again every day. And a lot of that comes from the fucking hilarious characters that they have here. Trevor maybe being off-putting to a lot of casual gamers, I suppose, but Trevor's fucking hilarious. Not only does he have some of the most fun rampage missions that haven't been in the series since the original games, both Trevor actually having one of the most interesting character motivations out of everyone in the game, feeling genuinely betrayed and hurt by the actions that Michael did. Betrayal really is a common theme in most of the franchise. Obviously with GTA 3, with Catalina shooting Claude at the top of the game, and with Vice City, with Tommy Vercetti betraying his bosses, and with Lance betraying Tommy Vercetti. Infamously with San Andreas, with Big Smoke, Ryder, and whoever the fuck is working with him betraying the rest of Grove Street. Now, I haven't played GTA 4, so I can't really comment on that, so that's a different thing. But, most importantly, with GTA 5, the sudden moment of betrayal being the inciting incident of the entire game, and with the endings being, if you want to betray the betrayer, killing Michael, who, I do gotta say, right, recently everyone's been saying, oh, he's just as bad as Trevor. He's not, okay? Michael is bad, he is a manipulator, but he's not as bad as Trevor, alright? But anyways, option B is whether you want to rebel on the life of crime that has abused you for so long. Kill the bullshitter and ending the fake bullshit for real. Or option A, kill Trevor. If you want to betray somebody who is objectively evil and probably deserves to get put off the streets, while doing so showing the fact that you don't really have loyalty to anybody, showing that the bottom line really does come down fully to the money. Betraying Trevor one final time. However, the reason options A and B are bad endings aren't because Michael or Trevor don't deserve to die, but it's because it's showing that you're falling for the bit. Options A and B are about falling for the life of a crime, going for the options presented to you. Option C is about Franklin leaving that life of crime behind and saying fuck you while he closes the door. A lot of Franklin's character is about not fucking with the hood, viewing that life for the made up bullshit that it really is, and deciding he doesn't want any part in that life. However, the more that Franklin goes up and up in the world, the more that he discovers that the rest of the world, the crime world, is really filled with just more stretches, just more old, lame people who are at the top of their own respective hoods. Franklin essentially just swapping his life, his cage per se, for a bigger, more gilded cage. Option C is about saying fuck you to the propaganda, showing that Franklin does not need to be stuck in that made up bullshit made up by all those around him. Grand Theft Auto 5 is such an interesting story that there's really so many things that you can really just go into. I haven't really begun to talk about Michael or Trevor. I like Michael because he is basically what happens to a GTA protagonist after they already beat their game. He's already done the betrayal, and he's already won the reward. Rich as hell, retired, and having the freedom to do anything in the world. I personally like the theory that Claude Speed is the same character as Michael Townley. Not because I think it's true in any way, but because it really does show what his story actually is. Also, something of a brief tangent. Why does Claude kill that girl at the end of 3? Like, I didn't watch the credits because I just kind of skipped through it, right? But looking through it, the girl's talking, then he shoots, and then she stops talking. What's the point of saving her, man? Like, at the end of that mission, I failed because I ended up shooting her in the head because that dumb bitch got in the way of my gun. Why? Like, why is killing her a fail condition if he just kills her in the end anyways? Anyways, enough about 3 story not making sense. GTA 5 story is very fun and works all very well for what it needs to accomplish. Having some of the best cinematic scenes in all of Rockstar's productions and even all of gaming. Genuinely some of the most cinematic cutscenes, maybe not because it looks the best, although which is kind of funny to say considering how good it looks and looked especially for its time, but also because of the phenomenal acting work done by Ned Luke, Stephen Ogg, and Solo. GTA 5's story really is something that at surface level is just kind of funny, but works very well when you actually read more in depth into what the scenes are. Playing it for the first time with an unspoiled experience might be one of the best experiences you can have while playing it, which is genuinely impossible with our current climate because, it is 13 years old. If you expect not to be spoiled, you're kind of gullible. But anyway, that's it for today. I might make a part 2 to the video, maybe, once I play GTA 4. However, in the meantime, please like and subscribe, give my other videos a view, and tell me what name I should give this channel. I still need to find some good branding for this, because, God, the channel name sucks. Stay safe, y'all, and good night, Vice City.